Let's start lying down, any comfortable position. Okay. So today I'm going to combine two things together. One is it's a full moon. So we're gonna do the moon salutation today. And also our theme for practice is Svadhyaya, which it means self-study. So we'll just get centered here to begin. You're muted. I gotcha. So noticing, where should we start today? Let's notice the body first. We did kind of a check-in, but we'll do a little more in-depth check-in now. So starting from the crown of your head, slowly making your way down your body, just notice what's happening there. And I invite you to notice both the good and the maybe not so good. Our theme yesterday was on Santosha, contentment. And one of the things that I mentioned was that we automatically go to what's bad. So I invite you to also look to see what's good, what feels good in your body. Maybe notice the parts of you still that are calling out for your attention. But check in with all of it. Maybe it's neutral. Notice if your mind starts to wander and come back to scanning your body. As we go through our practice today, please remember to listen to your body. Only do what's comfortable for you. If we come into a pose that doesn't feel right in your body, please come out and then join us again whenever you are ready. So absolutely no pain in yoga. Once you have completely scanned your body, noticing your breath, the quality of your breath. Are you able to slow down your breath just a little bit? Perhaps take full inhales and long, slow exhales. So Svadhyaya, self-study is often what brings people to yoga. Yoga offers one path to knowing yourself a bit more, understanding your compulsions and habits, and moving toward a higher, clear version of yourself. It's not just something that attracts people to yoga. It's an essential part of our practice. Self-study is something that is not optional. It is a requirement during our practice. For some of us, this is freeing news. It's excellent to have time and space carved out to get to know yourself more. But for others, it can feel terrifying to turn the magnifying glass inward. As we know full well, it will reveal both strengths and weaknesses. whichever category you land in. Gleeful to know yourself more or nervous about digging deeper. There's no way to escape self-study in yoga. Meditating, moving on your mat, and being in community with others, even virtually, all brings growth and reflection. So today you'll have an opportunity to get to know your body as you move. You'll get to know yourself as you rest in stillness. And you'll get to know your mind as you meditate. We will spend a little bit of time in silence tonight and make even more space for the practice of Svadhyaya, self-study. We'll do that near the end. So I invite you to bring some small movements into your body. Maybe those small movements become bigger movements. Okay, and then whenever you're ready, we'll come into wind relief pose to begin. So both feet come to the earth and knees are bent. And then hugging your right knee in towards your chest, activating your right foot. So hugging the knee in as much as it feels comfortable to do so. And then perhaps if it feels good in your body, extend the left leg long. So be with your body here and just notice what sensations present themselves. Maybe notice what parts of your body are calling for your attention and what parts feel amazing or even just somewhat good. So from here, let's keep the left hand on the right knee. Right arm's going to come out to the side, palm down to anchor you to the earth, and then allowing that right knee to cross over towards the left side. So just go as far as it feels good. Maybe the foot comes to the earth, maybe not. Maybe you come over to your left hip. Just listen to your body. What variation here feels the best? And gently coming back to center, placing the right foot on the earth with a bent knee. And hugging the left foot in towards you, activating the left foot. Again, perhaps the right leg comes long here. Notice what's going on with your shoulders. Can you soften them down towards the earth? And from here, right hand stays on the left knee, left hand comes out to the side, palm faces down, and allowing that left leg to cross over towards the right side. See if you can keep both shoulders on the earth. It may not happen, just do the best that you can. And then slowly allowing yourself to come back to center. We're going to bring the legs long. All right, arms reach up and back behind you, fingernails to the earth. We're going to come into a banana shape. So from here, allowing your shoulders, head and arms to come over towards the right side. Perhaps the legs come over towards the right side as well, keeping the hips on the earth. If you wish to feel a little bit more, maybe you grab the right wrist to pull the left, no, maybe you grab the left wrist, sorry, to pull it over, to feel more length along the left side body, and perhaps that left ankle crosses over the right, as long as the hips remain on the earth. Notice what you feel here along the left side of your body. Notice if your mind has started to wander. Where has it gone to? That self-study, right? And no judgment, just notice. And then come back to the present moment, to either your breath or your body. And whenever this side feels complete for you, coming back to center. And then over to the other side. Finding whichever variation feels best for you on this side. And then soften the shoulders, soften the arms. Relaxing the hips down. Once this side feels complete to you, coming back to center. Releasing your arms back down by your sides. And placing both feet on the earth, knees are bent. Repositioning your back flat on the earth. All right, so from here, we're going to find a moving bridge. So feet are hip distance apart, or like 2 fist widths apart. Okay, we want to keep the knees in line here with the hips, so those 2 fist widths. We don't want them to splay out towards the sides. We're going to bring the feet in nice and close to our sits bones. Okay, and then from here, arms are still by your side just to begin, pushing your feet into the earth, and then squeeze your inner thighs, squeeze your glutes. And then exhale to lower. We're going to find just a few moving bridges first, and then we're going to hold and find some movement with our arms. Sorry, keep moving up and down. Remember to squeeze the inner thighs, squeeze the glutes, push the feet into the earth, lift the hips, and slowly lower. A couple more times here. Okay, ready? We're going to push the feet into the earth, lift the hips, squeeze the inner thighs, squeeze the glutes, push the feet down into the earth. We're going to keep the hips where they are, and we're going to move the arms. So arms reach up and back behind you, fingernails to the earth. And then reaching the arms back down by your sides. Just moving here at your own pace, maybe inhaling to bring the arms back and exhaling to bring the arms back down. Keep squeezing the glutes. Ooh, warm. Warm in the legs, warm in the glutes. Self-study what's going on in your mind. How are you reacting to this pose? Are you thinking, when is she going to let us stop? Can you do this for 2 more rounds of breath? And then once you complete those 2 rounds of breath, hands come down by your sides and slowly lowering your hips back down towards the earth. All right, feet come wide on the mat. Take your time getting there. And then windshield wipering your knees from side to side. All right, happy baby before we come up to seated here. So feet come up towards the sky, knees come out towards the sides. Maybe you grab a hold of the backs of your thighs. Perhaps it's somewhere on the lower legs or towards the feet. We want to keep the head on the earth, shoulders on the earth. And what would feel amazing here in your happy baby? Is it staying still or rocking or maybe kind of playing around with it a little bit? Happy babies have a smile. Can you bring a smile to your face? All right, let's release the feet down towards the earth. And then we're going to roll over to one side, whichever side is calling for you. And then we're going to skip seated today and come right into a tabletop pose. So feel free to use a blanket underneath your knees if you need to. So there's a little bit of padding. Table, wrists are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. So we want to grip our fingers and grip our knuckle pads into the earth, slightly cupping the hands, imagining there's a ladybug under there. Don't squish the ladybug. For those of you who don't know, my daughter's nickname is Ladybug. Don't squish the ladybug. Okay, hips are over top of the knees. And then let's find some C shape here. So hips come out towards the right side, looking over your right hip towards the hip. Feel length here along the left side of body. We're gonna stay here for a couple rounds of breath. And then coming back to center and over to the other side. Hips come out to the left side, looking over the left shoulder. Feel length here along the right side body. Send the rib cage out to the right side. We'll do that one more time on each side. So coming over towards, looking over the right, send the left rib cage out to the side. Feel lengthening. Come back to center and over towards the left side. Let's come back to center. Okay, and then we're going to come into child's pose, big toes together, knees come apart if that's comfortable for you, arms come out long. If you need to, you can always place stacked fists or a block underneath your forehead, melting your heart down towards the earth. So it's in these moments of rest, yoga doesn't stop. It's here that yoga begins. This conversation with yourself is the practice. It is the most important part of the practice. You are here to learn something about yourself. So from here, let's walk the hands over towards the right side of the mat, maybe off the mat. We're going to keep the hips where they are. And then perhaps you walk that left arm away from you a little bit further. Melt the rib cage, melt the heart down towards the earth. Gently walking your hands through center and over to the left side. Perhaps the right hand walks away a little further, melting the right side body down. All right, slowly come back to center and then into your tabletop. Again, gripping the fingers into the earth. All right, so tiger pose. Tiger pose with a fire hydrant. We'll do that. Okay, so try not to collapse in on your arms. I'm going to push the earth away from you. So this way you're activating in the upper back, in the shoulders as well. Okay, so we'll start with the left side so you can see this a little better. So you're going to send the left foot up towards the sky with a bent knee. Okay, so when you send that foot up, see if you can push up, up, up towards the sky, squeeze the left glute, and then bring that knee back down. Try not to let it touch the earth, and then allow the leg to come out towards the left side. So fire hydrant pose, try and keep your hips square to the earth, and then come back down. We'll do that a few more times. So tiger pose, foot comes up towards the sky, activate the foot, send it up high. Lowering the knee. And then fire hydrant, leg comes out to the side. Maybe keep that left foot active. Lowering that left knee. Again, tiger pose. Squeeze. Lowering the left knee, fire hydrant pose. You're gonna feel something along the outer glutes, maybe into the thigh. All right, let's lower that knee down towards the earth. Take a moment here to come into child's pose and roll out your wrists. All right, and then making your way back into your tabletop pose. So our right side. Right foot comes up towards the sky, knees bent, send the foot up high. The knee comes down towards the earth. Right leg comes out to the side and squeeze. Lowering that right knee. Send the right foot up towards the sky. Squeeze the glutes. Keep pushing the foot up towards the sky. Lower the knee. Our fire hydrant pose. Lift as high as you comfortably can. Lower the knee. Tiger pose, foot up towards the sky. Lowering the knee, fire hydrant. I think we have one more. Lower the knee, tiger pose. Last one, make it count, squeeze. Lower the knee, and fire hydrant. Lowering your knee. One more time into child's pose. Take a moment to roll out the wrists. So as we move through the rest of our practice, I invite you to check in with your mind. What are your assumptions about the poses that we come into? What are your assumptions about it being easy or challenging? And what conversation in your mind do you have in the background as we move? All right, let's come to tabletop. Grip the fingers, shoulders roll back and down the spine, curling the toes under, sending the hips up and back behind you, downward dog. So as much of a bend in your knees here as you need. Maybe you pedal out your feet. Continue gripping the fingers into the earth, trying not to lock out your arms. And then making your way towards the front of your mat into a forward fold. Feet are hip distance apart. Allowing the upper body to dangle, or maybe you grab a hold of opposite elbows. What feels good here? Maybe it feels good to sway. And notice if you're holding any tension in your neck, maybe you kind of gently shake out the head to release that tension. All right, and then whenever you're ready, bringing your hands to your hips, lengthen your spine, and slowly, slowly, slowly come up with a flat back. Maybe you need to bend a little more into your knees, but take your time coming up. Once you come all the way up to your mat, okay, we're gonna turn on the mat. So turning so that your right onto the right foot is by the side of the mat. So when you step out, you'll be stepping out to the left. Okay, we're good. All right, so our moon salutation. Let's see how much of this I can remember. Finding mountain, squeeze the inner thighs, slight tuck of the tailbone. So notice as you do that, you're kind of turn on not only your thighs, but your glutes as well. Shoulders roll back and down the spine, crown of the head reaches high. So crescent moon, inhale, arms reach up towards the sky, soften the shoulders. And exhale, bringing the arms over towards the right side. Inhale, coming back to center. And exhale, coming over to the other side. Inhale, back to center. And then exhale, take a big step out to the left side, wide legs here. And then we're going to find a goddess pose. So turning the toes out so that they're pointing towards the top corners of the mat. Find a slight tuck of the tailbone, sit the hips down, sending the knees back. And then we want a nice straight spine. So cactus arms, if that feels good for you. And maybe you sink a little bit lower. Inhale, reaching the arms up, straightening the legs, star pose. And then we're going to come into a triangle. So left foot comes parallel to the short edge of the mat. Right foot turns towards the short edge of the mat. Okay, bending into the right knee, warrior two. Squaring the hips towards the long edge of the mat. Okay, then straightening that front leg, just a micro bend in the knee, reaching with the front hand, and then hand comes down to maybe your thigh, shin, a block for the earth. Triangle pose. So hopefully I don't mess you up by going the opposite direction here. Okay, ready? Bend into the front knee, windmilling the arms back up, warrior two. And then we're gonna turn to face the short edge of the mat. So right foot still forward. And then we're gonna find a nice wide stance here. So left foot to the left side, pointing up towards the top left corner of the mat. Pyramid pose, we straighten the front leg, the right leg, squaring the hips towards the front of the mat. And on your exhale, hinging forward from the hips. So go as far as you feel comfortable. Maybe hands come to your thighs, your thigh, the shin, or maybe the earth or blocks. So rolling that right hip back. If you need to, you can always step the left foot in. So there's less of a stretch here. When I mean in, I mean forward, sorry. Pyramid pose. Softening the neck. And bringing the hands to your hips, lengthen your spine. Come on up with a flat back. We're going to bend into the front knee. So warrior one leg. Bring the hands to the earth and lower the left knee towards the earth. Low lunge. Right knee's over the ankle in line with the second or third toe. Squeeze the inner thighs to rise. So as you squeeze the inner thighs, see if you can also squeeze the glutes. See, we can turn on our glutes as much as we want to in class, right? Again, that self-study, what's going on in your mind? Is this easy or challenging? And exhale, hands come down towards the earth. We're going to lift the back toes up. Send that left foot parallel towards the short edge of the mat. Windmill the arms up. And then turning the toes towards the top corner of the mat, sorry, of the right foot. And you're going to find a side lunge. So maybe it's a high lunge here. As high as you feel comfortable going. Inhale, come back to center, turn the toes of the left foot towards the corner of the mat, lunging over to the left side. Inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, step the left foot to meet the right. And finding your mountain pose. So we're starting on the same side of the mat. No, we're not. Come on over to the other side of the mat. I did it wrong, but that's okay. You'll forgive me for it, right? Okay, other side of the mat. Inhale, arms reach up towards the sky, soften the shoulders. Exhale, arms come over towards the right side. Inhale, arms reach back up. Exhale over towards the left side. We were supposed to end up here on this side of the mat, but I got us backwards. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, take a big step out with the right foot. And toes point up towards the top, the corners of the mat. We're going to find our goddess pose. So sitting down, find a slight tuck of the tailbone, bringing the knees over the ankles in line with the second or third toe. Find cactus arms. Maybe you sink a little further. Inhale, reach the arms back up, star pose. And exhale, we're going to turn the right foot. So it's going the same direction as the short edge of the mat. Left foot turns towards the short edge of the mat. Into our warrior two, squaring the hips towards the long edge of the mat. And then we straighten the front leg, micro bend in the knee. Front, where you have a different front now, left knee. Reaching forward with the left hand and find your variation of triangle. Windmilling the arms back up, come into your warrior two. And then we're going to turn ourselves around. So left toes are still pointing forward. Step the right foot so that you're on railway tracks here. Right foot points up towards the top right corner of the mat. So warrior one leg. And then we'll straighten the left leg, hinging forward from the hips. Hands come wherever is comfortable. And try and roll the left hip back. Again, if you need to, step the right foot in towards the front of the mat, maybe about a foot. Can you soften the upper body? Soften in the neck. What do you notice about this pose? All right, bending into the front knee. Bring the arms back up towards the sky, warrior one. And then hands come down towards the earth and dropping the right knee down towards the earth. So we're going to find our low lunge on this side. Squeeze the inner thighs to rise, squeeze the glutes. So we want to imagine that we're zipping everything up in the middle. So we squeeze the legs towards center, and then we allow the crown of the head to reach high. Imagine a zipper, I guess, going all the way up your body, all the way up your spine from your tailbone to the crown of your head, softening the shoulders. So active low lunge here. And then exhale, bringing the hands down towards the earth. We're going to curl the toes under, lift the back leg, spin it parallel to the short edge of the mat, windmill the arms up into warrior two. And then we're going to turn the toes of both feet pointing towards the corners of the mat. Okay, so we're going to do it the right way this time. Shifting over towards the right side into a lunge here. Shifting over towards the left side. Okay, ready? We're going to use our arms, so windmill the arms up, step over towards the right side. There, we did it right. Okay, that's our moon salutation. So let's come over to the front of the mat once again. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, crescent moon. Arms come over towards the right side. All right, so if a shoulder doesn't feel good here, feel free to drop that arm down by your side. We're gonna find a balance. So shifting your weight into your left foot, micro bend in the left knee. Activate the right foot and maybe allow the right leg to come out towards the right side. So creating like a C shape here. Maybe you reach that left arm over a little bit further. Feel length along the left side body. And inhale, come back to extended mountain. And exhale, let's lower the arms down by our sides. And then we're going to find empty coat sleeves here. So just allowing the arms to dangle and swing from side to side. I never remember to do this. And it feels like, I don't know, it reminds me of something that I used to do as a kid. Look at the arms go. All right, we'll come back to center, back into our mountain pose. And we're gonna find that crescent moon balance on the other side. Inhale, arms reach up, soften the shoulders. Exhale, allowing the arms to come over towards the right, oh no, left side, sorry. Maybe you reach the right arm away a little bit further, feel length. Shifting your weight into your right foot, micro bend in the knee, activate the left foot, send the left foot out towards the side. Maybe just the toes come to the earth, just finding whatever variation feels best for you here. Note to self, do not fall on the iPad. All right, inhale, back to center, stepping the left foot down, reach the arms up. Exhale, arms come down by your sides. Again, let's shake out the arms. How are we doing? Oh, we're already near the end. All right, let's come down onto our backs, onto the floor. Very elegant way of coming down. So any way that's comfortable for you, coming down onto your back. We're gonna find a figure 4 twist. All right, but we're gonna go both directions with it. So to begin, let's cross the right ankle over the left thigh. From here, allowing your legs to drop over towards the left side. So if this doesn't feel good, maybe you stack knees together and find that twist. So see if you can soften your shoulders. The right foot may come down towards the earth. You may need to adjust your legs here. All right, up to you. Maybe that left hand reaches down for the right ankle. Activate the right foot as you pull it in a little closer to your waist, only if it feels good. If it's in your body and you don't have any kind of knee issues, maybe you kind of heel toe that left foot closer to the right hip and grab a hold of the left foot. Or maybe find another variation that feels amazing for you in your body here. So notice if you're holding tension in that right hip, soften the hip down, allow it to come down towards the earth. It may not come all the way, it doesn't matter, just releasing any tension. If you're holding your feet, releasing here, and allowing your legs to come back to center, keeping the cross in your legs. Okay, so option here is you can keep the foot over the thigh. If you wish to go a little bit deeper, you'll be crossing your knees. You'll notice when you come down what feels better, but you'll be crossing at your knees. So let's start here with foot over the thigh. We're going to allow our legs this time to drop over towards the right side. So that right foot is kind of like an anchor here or a weight to gently pull the left leg down. Feel lengthening here along the left hip, maybe even into the left side body. Bringing the arms out to the side, palms face up if that's comfortable. And again, if you wish to make it a little deeper, cross the knees so you have a little bit more weight on that bottom leg. Maybe you look to the left, feeling a little more of a twist in the spine. Softening the shoulders, softening your jaw. What are your assumptions about this pose? What conversation is happening in your mind? Whenever you are ready, allowing your legs to come back to center. And then uncrossing your legs and repositioning your back flat on the earth. So we have another side. Left ankle crosses over the right thigh. Allowing your legs to drop over towards the right side. Maybe you stay here, maybe you find a variation of this pose, or perhaps you stack knees instead of finding this figure four. And then soften. Allow the shoulders to soften down towards the earth. And slowly allow that left hip to soften down a little closer to the earth. If you're holding your feet, gently letting them go, and then allowing your legs to come back to center. Repositioning your back flat on the earth, and we're going to keep that cross in our legs, left ankle over right thigh, and then allowing your legs to drop over towards the left side. Arms are out to the side, palms face out. Maybe you look to the right side. Allow yourself a few rounds of breath before you decide if you maybe wish for a little more by crossing your knees. Sometimes it takes a couple rounds of breath just to relax into the pose and feel the stretch. All right, so there's absolutely no rush. You decide when this side feels complete for you. And when it does, legs come back to center and cross the legs, reposition the back flat on the earth, and then find a resting pose here, Shavasana or anything else that feels comfortable for you. Again, returning to your breath. So our meditation practice today is to first notice the part of your breath that you notice the most. What part do you notice the most? Maybe it's the air going in through your nose as you inhale. Maybe it's the expansion of your diaphragm as you breathe in, or maybe it's the warmth of the air coming back out through your nose. Maybe you feel it somewhere else in your body. And then as you move through your rounds of breath, we're going to take deep inhales and long, slow exhales. See if maybe you can just wait for that part of your breath that you notice the most. So we're breathing, sorry, but we're just noticing that one part of our breath as we breathe. As you settle here, soften your face and your jaw. Maybe relaxing the muscles around your eyes. Allowing your shoulders to soften. And just stay with your breath. When that part of your breath that you're focusing comes up, maybe you say, oh, there it is. And then let your breath continue. And the next time you exhale, I invite you to open your mouth and sigh. And then move inward and release. There is nothing to fear from looking inside. There is nothing to fear from turning within. And gently bringing your awareness back into your space, back into your body. Maybe notice Any sensations in your fingertips and in your toes? Maybe start to make some movements here. And slowly rolling over to one side, whichever side is calling for you. Perhaps taking a moment here to find gratitude for Svadhyaya, self study, for taking this time to find that self study. And then in your own time, slowly making your way up to seated. And once you get there, lowering or closing your eyes. Taking deep inhales in through your nose and long, slow exhales out. On your inhale, I invite you to inhale self compassion. And on your exhale, releasing anything that may be standing in your way. I honor this virtual space that we are in that has allowed us to join together to practice. I honor all of the teachers from yoga from India and around the world who have brought us this beautiful practice of yoga, of union and freedom. And I honor all of you for coming here today and sharing your practice with me and with each other. Thank you for joining me. Have a beautiful evening.